Hello, my Contrast again, and today, guys, I'm here to do another anime review, and this anime review is to Sword Art Online Alicization episode 4, guys. So, let's get into it. So, in this episode of Sword Art Online Alicization, it was like the previous episode of where Ujiro and Kyoto were about come into contact with some goblins. And there's one thing I've got to say. What's the goblins in this doing in this season? Like, this season of anime. Goblins. Goblin Slayer. Then Slime. Sword Art Online. A lot of goblins. Now, obviously, if you guys didn't know, I didn't review episode 3, so technically, I couldn't say what I'm saying right now, that episode, during that episode. Maybe because I didn't get a chance to review it. I had other things to do. Couldn't really do reviews around that point. So, obviously I didn't review episode 3, so that's the reason I'm saying this right now in this episode. But I'm sick of this review. But I'm going to say, the goblins. Why goblins? Why is goblins so popular? Now, there's one thing I've got to say. Kyoto, he had to put some work into shit, guys. He's no longer the OP character that we all know. Because mainly he doesn't have to rely on game mechanic hacks, or game mechanics much as at all in this world, because we all, if you guys have sort of guessed how this world works, even though it's a virtual world, a lot of this virtual world also has realistic elements into it, like a lot of games that have humans, characters, or stuff like that in it, obviously are going to have some realistic elements. There's no way you can't add any form of realistic elements into a game like a VR, like an RPG. You can't do that. It's impossible to make a complete game and make it non-realistic. It's impossible. There is no way you can't make a non-realistic game. There is no way that's possible for an RPG. For an RPG, it's borderline impossible. But obviously, again, as it is an RPG, obviously it's going to have its non-realistic elements. But this one made it more realistic. Or, like, for example, how you take injuries. Like, literally, once you take one single cut, usually that is going to be technically a lot of damage, or feels like a lot of damage to a lot of people. Like, even though just a simple cut, like, it's not even too big, like, a lot of those, like, bug people. It really pains people. Like, once they see that, it gets them aggravated. But once you start get a massive cut in you, again, most video games, or even virtual reality, even what Kyoto has faced, from a massive slice, you should not be able to feel too much damage. But in the real world, you do. And that's what Kyoto ends up facing. Because he got his first ever proper slash, like the time when he got his, in the actual anime series, where he got a knife wound. Remember that crazy guy who was supposed to be engaged to Arsenal at one point? You remember correct? He slashed Kyoto. Pretty much he got that in this game right now. He pretty much got the same kind of wound he got in this game world that he's in right now. Just shows you how more realistic elements there is going to be in this game. That means more likely your own physical abilities do come into account. Now, there is like some durability or like some leveling system in this world. There is a leveling system in this world. So that means, for example, the only way you can use a certain weapon, you have to be at a certain level. Which you find out, which you found in episode 3, that's how to use the sword that they, Asia found, is by being at a certain level. Which they both ended up coming at one point. So now they both can use the sword. Which, obviously, as this sword we noticed in the opening, mostly going to belong to Asia. Asia's main sword now. Which I still wonder how powerful that sword was going to be. That's going to look like a pretty cool sword. Now, I've got to say, the sword itself looks fucking cool. I gotta admit, I like that look of that sword. Gotta mention that there. But Kyoto had to put some work into it. Like, he actually had to use the sword skills he knows in the game, but also to put into his own physical body movements. And how he had to put that work in, especially from the wound he got. Fucking hell. Like, that is, like, impressive, Kyoto. Like, he actually had to put work in, which is good a good first for Kyoto. Good first for Kyoto. Now, another situation is Ezreal. When he got, after succumbed to his fear and finally brave enough to start fighting against the goblins, because obviously you guys noticed at the end of episode 3 he was frozen like he was in the first episode. He froze up when he saw something terrible in front of him, but finally, after seeing how Kyoto is fighting, he got the courage to fight. He got the courage to fight because he didn't want to be like how he was like when Alice got taken away. But at one point, he actually gets sufficiently hurt. Sufficiently hurt. He took a bad cut to the stomach. He took a bad cut to the stomach, a deep cut to the stomach, from that big giant goblin, aka a hobgoblin, I take it. He's a hobgoblin, I take it. But a big goblin, these goblins boss very hard, and that wound supposed to kill him. And if you notice how fast his durability, aka his HP, was going down, we're like, this is definitely a real life damage. Because usually once you get a blow like that, you're not gonna just like survive, or you will just a certain amount of health. Your health will keep on decreasing no matter what. Because in video games, even if you take a massive blow, but if it doesn't take you out instantly, you can still fight. Your HP doesn't go down, or you actually have to take like a certain amount of hits to make sure you don't take it down. But in reality, if you get a massive hit like that, your health is going to decrease every single time. Even though you might have survived the first blow, you can still die from the wound itself. You can still die from gradually losing blood. That's how real life works. And in video games, obviously, most video games don't do that. Once you get even a single cut or anything in a video game, doesn't mean you're going to lose your life or you're not going to lose any more HP. Usually, once you get hit, you're fine until you get another hit. You're pretty much fine until you get another hit. If you get another hit and then you lost your HP, then obviously you're dead. You're dead. But usually, even if you get one hit on you from an opponent or an enemy, it doesn't mean you die. You're at risk of dying. It doesn't mean that. It's only a risk of dying when you realize your HP is so low that you actually have to heal, or that your character died in game like that after a few hits on you. But in reality, once you get a hit on you, you know you're near at death's door. Like, once you even get a single cut, you know, fuck, I'm in trouble. I need to fucking protect my life, or try to make sure my life stay alive until someone comes and help me, or I'm able to sustain from this wound and survive. That is the kind of instincts we all go through, and that's what both Kyoto and Ajo were going through right then. The will to survive, not to the surviving of I must make sure I not get hit anymore. It's the surviving of not letting this wound kill me or get any more wounds that could kill me. That's what they were going through right there. And Ojo, obviously you can tell with him, guard down his stomach, like he was in a way begging, but he's also understand, I want to survive. But while he was saying stuff like that, he then says something that both shocked Kirito. He mentions that he was there along with him and Alice when mentioning that when they were young, and also the incident when Alice got taken away. He sort of delusionally mentions that Kirito was there. And obviously Kirito is aware that he's been in this game before. Even though he doesn't remember anything that was going on, he definitely knows he was in the game. He doesn't know when, where, or how does he know these characters or anything. He doesn't know anything like that, but he has known he's been in the game. And once he mentions it, obviously you can tell from Kirito's face, so that means I knew you in this game. It means I was portraying a little kid in this game the same age as you guys. That's what you sort of be getting for his mind, be like, so that's the point in the game I was. So I was there when Alice got taken away. That's what Kirito sort of thought. So, like, even though he doesn't mention it, you can definitely tell from Kirito's facial reaction that some way that, okay, that means I was involved somehow. You can definitely tell that. You definitely can tell that from him. But then he was wondering, okay, but then why doesn't Oja remember me? Why couldn't remember me from that point? That's why after Elika obviously, as the sister, come after Kirito unbound her from her bounds and stuff. He tells her that I need your help to heal Asia. She hesitates because she feels that she's not powerful enough, because she doesn't feel like because she feels like she's inferior to her sister. But Kirito sort of encourages her to do it. Encouraged her, she can do it, and obviously she does pull it off. But the way they do it with the system called aka Magic, she uses life force itself to heal him. Like, what happens for how deep down she is, she couldn't use a regular secret art. She had to, like, drain some energy from herself and Kirito into Ezio. That means if she does it too wrong, both of them, or possibility one of them could die. But obviously they both survived in the end, which is good. They all survived in the end. But just see that conversation. After that, Kirito asked Ezio at the tree, at the Devil's Tree, asking Ezio, do you remember you asking me about these strange questions? And he said, yeah, I do. But he says, I don't know why. He says, I don't know why. I only met you just recently. That's what he says. But obviously after saying that, he's now aware that he says it. So Ezio is aware that he said it. Near his deathbed, he was aware that he said it. So that's something we do now recognize, that even though he took the blow, and even though at that point that he should make him get killed, most people do not retain memories that they had that were near their death's door. Even if they end up surviving, they don't remember death door memories. Most people don't. If they do, something sufficiently is going to happen, and that's especially in Ezio's case, because now, as he does remember what he said when he was near his death's door to Kirito, it just shows you that there's going to be a major point where these moments are definitely going to be major effect on him. Going to definitely have a major effect, which I don't know when or how, but it's going to definitely have some major importance, which obviously makes sense. Once a character that Kirito knew in this world when he was like a little kid in this world, obviously they're going to have a big major effect on how this world works and how they understand things. So that's going to be something we need to keep an eye on. Now during this, Ezio, after Kirito teaches him how to use a sword, he finally cuts down the Devil's Tree. And what we do find out of what we can call Kirito's sword style, like his swordsmanship style, we finally know what we can call it. Icrad style. Just the way he says, like, Kirito mentions his style as Icrad style. Icrad. It's some good nod to telling him, oh, I learned this from Sword Art Online. Just how he tells him that, I'd be like, that is, like, interesting, like, good callback from the previous game you learned this from. But, how to fight a swordsman, but it makes sense. He learned how to use a sword from Minecraft, so it makes sense. So he calls it this style, Minecraft style. So after teaching him, obviously, Ezio this sword style, Ezio was able to cut down the tree and succeed his calling. Now, what we do find out is, after you succeed in your calling, you personally now can choose your next calling. You personally can now choose your next calling. That means the calling that you had predetermined, if it's already complete, you now have the right of choosing your own calling, which that makes sense. If you're able to succeed in a calling that you're supposed to be destined for, obviously now, if there is no other form of destined calling for you, you do have the right to choose your own calling. And that's what Ezio does. Now, I don't know if there is ever a point when Ezio might get another destined calling. If it ends up being that there is another destined calling awaiting for him, does he have to be forced to get into that calling, even though he chose this next calling? I don't know. I don't know, because the previous calling, he died at his own free will, mainly because he didn't know anything better. He only thought, okay, I'll just do it. And again, it was out of his full free will, so that was fine. But in this situation, now as he got a chance to choose his own calling, and as he now chose to be a swordsman, to get Alice back, that's what he chose to end up doing, we do know, again I said, they have to follow their own calling. But they have to follow the calling they're being given. But that's the thing, how vital does this calling need to be? Like, how vital does it need to be? Like, especially your own personal calling. If it's a destined calling like the one Azure was doing before, when he's cut down the Devil's Tree, does that prioritize more than your own personal calling? The calling that you chose yourself. Does that matter? Does that matter at all? That is something I really want to know. That is something I really want to know. Is there a certain level of calling that prioritizes more than another calling? Or once you choose a calling, even if it ends up being your personal one, does that end up becoming your full-fledged calling that you cannot come back from? Can that be the case? That's the only thing I can come out here. That's what I'm wondering here. So, does a destiny calling have more priority? Or, even if after you completed a certain calling, the next calling you choose will become your main priority and you don't have to worry about another calling, even if it ends up being a destined calling, to be your next calling. You don't have to worry about changing it. Could be what's going on. That I don't know. So that's something I just want to know there. Is there a certain level, or is there a sort of hierarchy that they need to obey when it comes to finding their calling? If they find out there is a destined calling they have to do, that they're actually supposed to have to do. That is something I want to know. So anyway, from that, after Azure says his calling, he tells Erica that I'm going now to rescue Alice. Wait for me here. Wait for Kyoto and all three of us to get back together here with Alice. And she says okay. And then at the end of the episode, Azure and Kyoto leave the town, so they go to the center. They go to the main city center, pretty much the main city center. That's where they go to. They go to the main city center, and yeah, that's nothing else I can say. No, animation, fucking hell, so good. The animation looked fucking awesome in this episode. Personally, to me, it looked way better than the previous episodes. But the animation looked so good. I've got to mention that. I loved how the animations looked in this episode but especially the fight scenes. They looked like movie. It looked like how the movie of Sword Line looked like. I was like Oracle scale. We know movie animation is always top notch. So saying that it looks like Oracle scale, which is a movie which already had fucking good animation, that's just saying something. The animation was fucking good in this episode. So A1, good on you. The animation looked fucking cool. And yeah, and there's nothing else I can really say. Hey guys, that's my anime review to Sword Art Online Alicization, or Sword Art Online Season 3, Episode 4, guys. Hope you guys take a go chat fans today. If you guys want to support me, go down below. My address down, yeah. And also guys, if you want to help me on Patreon, my Patreon's down there as well. And also guys, if you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and AnimeMino, these are the channels to do. On Facebook and AnimeMino, just search Colin Travis, the same name as my channel. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Colin Travis 1998. Anyway guys, I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys! Wow.